Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the, what are we called?
Yeah, we're going to change the name.
We're going to change
We're
the
not
name.
sure yet.
We're not sure yet. So,
But welcome.
welcome back
Yeah.
to old customers, new customers,
Subscribers.
and those yet to come.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, we haven't been doing our
talk
talk since 22.
Well, we've been doing lots of exciting things, but
Yeah.
because it's different,
Yeah.
we went out on adventures and we were doing crop circles, wasn't we?
Yeah, we have another channel, The Happy Adventures,
Yeah.
for those who are interested.
If you-
But this will be and stay our talk
Yeah.
channel.
We have such a big scope of interests that we're not sure that you guys out there would go for everything. Like we were doing crop circles, and we took this film from above with a drone, and then like brought it back home and we're watching it, and I said, "Whoa, what was that there then? What was that?" And it was like psh, a flash like this, and on the screen. And then you started slowing the film footage down, and it was a being of light. It was, or orb, whatever you want to call it, it was a being of light that it came out of the trees, it went like this, and then it went straight at the drone like that.
Yeah.
Really interesting that was. And then we noticed on some of the other film footage that we had that there was more of them. We had to slow the footage down, and there they were, all around the place.
Yeah.
So
let us know if you're interested in that, because some people are, and they joined our other channel, but because we do also other things, lots of the crop circle people left. So it's very difficult to please everyone.
You can't please all of the people all of the time, but you please some of the people some of the time. Margaret Thatcher, she said that.
Oh, wow.
Margaret Thatcher. And anyway, so that took me onto a kind of adventurous. I wanted to find out more. What are they? And are they the things that things that's causing the crop circles? Because some of them, you could say people done that, and yet some of the others. So I've been looking into it, and some of them can't be done by humans because of the way the corn bends without breaking, and the way it overlays like this. Like if you imagine my fingers doing this, to do that on and that's what's happening in these crop circles. The wheat or corn or whatever it is going down and overlaying each other in strange patterns, and it's bending, not breaking, and so it's really interesting. So then we see these beings of light, and takes me on to another path of research, if you like, and all of a sudden I'm looking at back to where I started from, the spiritual talks.
Yeah,
and,
because we want to make it clear that we are not going to talk only about beings of light and crop circles. We will be talking about relationships. Yeah. We just celebrated our 23rd anniversary.
Yes, and
but we will talk about all sorts, relationships, mental well-being, crop circles, whatever really, or what's in the news, or
whatever you guys ask us.
Yeah, leave a comment if you would like us to talk about a certain subject.
Yeah, it took me into like Tibetan stuff and beings of light, the rainbow bodies, and then the resurrection of the transfiguration of Jesus and Moses and all those people. They turn into beings of light, and I don't know, I'm trying to make up my mind about it. Like this, I got two things. I got history and people talking about light and people turning into light, and then you've got these beings of light and these crop circles, and then you've got these UFOs as well. So you've got all these things, and I think somewhere they fit together. And I always thought when I'd done meditation that I reached a high level of realization, and I always felt for everything that you let go of, the body gets lighter. I know I'm talking about light bulb light. I mean, it felt like a thought tenses a muscle. It relates to a muscle in your body, So when you lose all your thoughts, you lose all the tension in all of your body, and then your mind stops. And then there's I felt there was further to go, and I always said
Yeah,
if
you
I ever
always
spoke,
mentioned it.
yeah, if I ever spoke,
Yeah.
and this has only been recently, we come into these beings of light, and I always spoke, after enlightenment, I think there's further to go. And then so I went on research and found out that the Dzogchen Buddhists, they actually meditate, and they talk about like metamorphosing into light, into beings of light. And there was this fella in Tibet in 1998, they done some monk went and done research on him, a scholar monk, and learned all about what happened, what he did, and all the practices he did. And I found that very interesting. So if you're interested in talking about that, for me, it's one of my, one of the biggest interests I got, because personally, I think that, people ask, why are we here? What's the point in this life? Why are we here? And is it just about going to work, being a slave to the system, coming home, going to bed, doing the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out? What is that all about? Then we die.
Hoping that you reach your pension age.
You retire at 67.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, if you get there.
I mean, we have people around us who die in early 60s, in their 50s, so they never even get their pension.
So people ask the big question, what's it all about? What's life all about?
Well, we're all searching, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are all searching for something.
Yeah.
And the search often stops in materialistic stuff.
Yeah.
So, and you think that happiness is found within ourselves, isn't it? So that is also where we will talk about, what we will talk about.
Yeah.
How we find our happiness inside ourselves and with each other, therefore also with each other.
Yeah. And one important thing I discovered as well is finding happiness, like Ahiranta said, is part of it. But this chap that reached this rainbow body, right, in Tibet, he and the Buddhists, they teach you've got to practice loving kindness. And when this fella died, there was his body didn't decay like usual bodies do. It shrunk, and then it just disappeared. And people witnessed this. And some of them, they leave hair and fingernails and things like that. And but there was a smell of scent, like flowers left around for a long time. And I kind of consider things, and I thought, well, like most of us, we live on an instinctive level, don't we? We live on an instinctive level. Like, we go to work. Why do we go to work? Because we fear not having money to put food on the table, or not having money to pay for the house or the rent or whatever system you're living under. And that's fear. Everything is fear-based. And if we practice loving kindness, then how does that change the chemical reactions in the body? And they in the Christian church, they talk about canonization and immaculate what do they call it when their bodies don't decay, like Saint Josephine, and they don't decay, and they just don't rot anyway. Like, they don't take the normal course of decaying and what have you. And so I find that highly interesting. And so the smell, a normal body decays because it's got all those instinctive chemicals in the body. But if you've been practicing loving kindness, apparently these Tibetans suggest, and how they die as well, because there's thousands of these guys have been catalogued by Tibetan system, and thousands of them over the years have died, rainbow bodies or beings of light, whatever you want to call it, and they don't leave nothing behind. They turn into balls of light. And then you've got in the Hindu culture, you've got people like Babaji, and he's been living like for thousands of years. Is this where we are going? Like, do we actually, like the caterpillar, do we actually metamorphosize into a kind of butterfly? Is that what it's all about?
And then you go full circle. Are those beings of light we see by crop circles, are they the people who have reached higher status?
Yeah, and that was our question. When we started doing this and we started seeing all this stuff on those, go and check it out if you don't believe us. I don't say anything that I can't prove.
Just
well,
look
I
at
try
our-
not to put it that way.
Just look at our other channel for the UFA. There's a playlist there.
Yeah.
But we do lots and lots of different things on our channel, other channels. So, but if you look for the Happy Adventure channel, Happy Adventures, and you will find playlists, and one of them is UFO playlist, and there you will find the beings of light we filmed with the drone.
And so, like, you know, I always question it, and you always. You know, she's always my soundboard. Like,
yeah, I listen patiently.
5 years in bed, she had to listen to me.
Loved it every second.
And anyway, so like my question is like crop circles, enlightenment, rainbow body,
beings of light,
Babaji, metamorphosis. Where do we go? Is that the ultimate where we go? And I'm pretty, for me, in myself, is some, you know, like sometimes. I can't prove it, but it's my intuition or whatever you want to call it tells me that there is further to go than this, and it is we metamorphosize into like those religions tell us. I know the religion have lost their merit in a lot of ways because of what people have done with it. But if you look at the inner core of religion, where it's based from, where it comes from. And not to be out the periphery, you know, all the troublemakers, but people who've used it for their own benefit, you know, power mongers and money seekers and what have you. But if you look at the core of every religion, it's always about evolving the human soul or the human
through
person.
Love and kindness.
Love and kindness, yeah.
Yeah. We talked about love and kindness, and we also talked, we talk a lot. He talks a lot. I listen a lot. But that if we keep repeating things from our past, negative, things that have hurt us or we are still upset about, if you keep repeating those stories, you actually change the chemicals in your body. So if you turn that around and be loving and kind, I always live in my pink bubble, because that is a better influence on my body, on my condition. Yeah. So, and that has also to do with the beings of light, isn't it? They go to an extreme high level. But if we look at those soap operas on the TV, I'm totally against it, because it's all about conflict and drama. And what does that do? That changes the chemicals in your body. And we go as far as to say that when animals are slaughtered, they know they are being killed, they're going to be killed. You lived in Wales, you have seen it by the slaughterhouse where the sheep stood in line, and the sound they made, you said, was absolutely
it was like listening to children
horrendous.
Cry. They were screaming. You never hear them make those sounds, and in a slaughterhouse, I don't know if any of you guys have listened to.
And by that, it changes. The meat of the animal changes, and by that, the meat is not healthy for us to eat. That's how far we go. Isn't it?
Yeah.
If something is aggressively killed,
violently,
or whatever you want to call it, and they know it, their whole chemical in their body changes.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And that will have an influence on the quality of the food.
Yeah.
So it is very interesting. We are very interested in that phenomena, because we are planning to live at least until 300 years.
Listen, like, you can say, he's scared of dying, they're scared of dying, blah, blah, blah.
No.
I'm not scared of dying, and neither is Ahiranta scared of dying.
No.
But what I'm more fearful of is having to come back again and again and again and again. Yeah. If we go to sleep and never wake up again, is that bad?
Well, let's party.
Yeah, let's party before we go.
It doesn't matter what we do then, does
it? I mean, depends on the way you think. If you think this life is that wonderful, then good luck to you, because you are obviously under 20-something, because, you know, when you get to 50-something, you've experienced so much of life by then that you quite well know that it is not all, you know, we're just slaves, aren't we? We're just slaves, really.
In this society, isn't it?
We're just slaves.
Most people work, sometimes 2 people in a family unit works, and they're just ticking over. Too many people are just ticking over. And it's just not on, isn't it? It's just not. Yeah. So as you can see, we talk about all sorts. We
Yeah.
don't.
We're allowed to inspire us, isn't it?
Yeah,
Inspiration.
we just be ourselves. If you like that, join us, become a member of our channel. It all helps.
Yeah.
But we will not be set by rules. If we wanna go that way, we will.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely. But I'm glad we're back.
Yeah, I'm glad we are back. Are you glad we are back?
Yeah.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah. It is very cold in our little. We call this our little studio. It's very cold, isn't it? Because we went all through COVID, then we went to an energy crisis, and I just refused to give my money to the energy company, so we don't need to put the heating on. This was cold in this little studio.
That's when we started getting mould in the bathroom, we started getting mould in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Wasn't very nice.
But there's all sorts now.
Hey.
Yeah.
Real life.
Yeah, but we live a simple life, don't we?
Simple life,
we love talking about our experiences or something that interests us.
We got a lot of experience of life.
Yeah,
like we're both in our 60s.
Absolutely, yeah.
We got a lot of life
Especially you're a very colourful person.
Oh, no.
Compared to Ozay, I am Missy Goody.
Oh, that's not true actually.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of experience because I'm naughty. I break the rule. I've been naughty and I've broken the rules.
You don't mind breaking the rules.
I find out what happens that way, the hard way. You don't want to do it that way. You want to learn from the older people who know. This one here, she's the most kindest human being on this planet.
Oh.
I'm not saying that because she's my wife and it's all about sex, and if I don't say kind things I don't get sex off with or something like that. Not true, okay? So whatever you think, like if you think like that, it's not true.
No.
She's the most kindest person on this planet.
Thank you.
She actually helps people across the road, and old people, really does it. She pays for people who she thinks can't afford it, in the Tesco's and whatever, and
that's all right. You do what you can. You just do what feels right.
Just saying, she's trying to build me up. Like, I hate that. I'm not that good. I'm bad compared to that.
Well, I mean, he's wonderful, actually. But good, yeah. But he's very naughty. He's been very naughty. Yeah. I was always afraid to get in trouble, so that kept me on the straight and narrow.
She's a good girl, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to be kind as well. I love being kind to people.
Yeah, that's it. See,
and I have a problem with conflicts, so it's a bit selfish as well being kind, isn't it? Because I have a fear for conflicts. If I can get away from it, I will.
Well, what I noticed about Ahiranta is she has an illness that caused her to be in bed for 5 years. Nobody thought she was ever going to get out of bed. And sometimes she has to go back to bed, and sometimes she's on this chair type thing. And of course you can't see it here because it doesn't show. And but what I notice is that if we watch TV, I can't watch the macho movies. I know you say, oh yeah, like this, she's just a typical woman. She likes love movies and all those yak. But what I notice is that everything she watches makes the inner person feel nice,
soft,
and kind and things like that. And so, like I said, recently I've been researching this Tibetan Buddhism and the rainbow body, they call it, or Hindu, the Babaji effect, and the transformation of Jesus and Moses and Abraham and all those people and Elijah. And they all do kind things. It's all nice. They have to feel nice. And those bodies that don't decay, relating it again to the animals that die in fear. Us, we're animals. Do we die in fear? Like, are we going to carry on like fearing day after day in, day out? If we're going to have the next wages, if we're going to get food on the table for the kids, if we're going to get the money for the house, blah 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 blah, all fear based. If we can practice loving kindness, watch stuff on TV, watch what you think, be careful of certain influences. And this guy who turned into a rainbow body, they researched him, like I said, And before he died, right, he was using a mantra, and I've heard this mantra before.
Yeah.
And it's the idea of the mantra. I look, I'm one of you guys, right? I don't believe in this shit. I have to find out for sure. I wouldn't even entertain the thought of it or listening to it, and I guess some of you guys won't either. But I've had experiences. I'm 67 now, going on 68. I look good, don't I? What was I talking about? No. So anyway, these guys, they practice this loving kindness, and something in their chemical structure in their body, they practice that, and this mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, or hum. And this guy who went into the rainbow body, he was seen the last day before he died walking around the village in Tibet, chanting this mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. And I kept repeating it over and over and over again. And what that does is it purifies your mind, because you're not going to be in your instinctive nature. You're not going to be worried about, should I do this? Or should I do that? Should I get money? What about so-and-so? Have I made him happy? Have I made her happy? Blah, blah. All that is instinct-based, so your mind can't think about that because you're chanting, and therefore your mind becomes purified. And he did this for some time before he didn't die. He told people when he was going to leave his body, and then he left. Just like that. There was no apparent cause of him dying. He just sat down, went away. And so there was something else as well I wanted to say.
They are highly developed practitioners, though,
yeah.
of the knowledge of self, of the science. Not knowledge, because knowledge is connected in the normal way of thinking to books.
Yeah.
But the science of self. But living in a pink bubble and watching lovely videos, movies, romantic and comedy, create that feeling what you want to create through kindness and love and kindness.
Yeah.
So it is also a spiritual way to purify the chemicals in your body, and I think even it has a healing power. They say laughter is good for your health.
Yeah.
And being kind and soft, and not pretending but truly feeling it from your feeling center, is not only beneficial for the whole of society, the people you deal with, it's also beneficial for you as an individual, and by that you influence the world in itself.
It's about health, isn't it?
Yes.
I read the Bible like 7 times, and I thought that when the 7th time I read it,
to make it he is not a Christian.
No, I'm not a Christian.
And he's not a Buddhist, and he is not
curious.
You're a, I would say you're a explorer of the science of
truth. Yeah. I mean, story is a story, and okay, try it out. Is that true? Don't know. Leave it there then. If you don't know, if you can't prove it, then
stay in the middle.
Yeah, and
don't reject it. Don't accept
that
it.
That kind of brings it to a circle, because like going back to the Om Mani Padme Hum thing, I'm sat in I mentioned this in one of the other videos, and I mentioned it again because it connects to this about this body of light and what have you, and we're like standing. Now we don't often do this. We got a circle like it's like about 12 people, let's say, sat in a circle, and you don't do this normally. But this time, we were standing, and we had this little table about this big, and there was maybe 8 of us. Craig Hamilton Parker's circle.
Look it up. They have also a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's all right, but to be honest with you, he's a bit of a twat. No, he's not. He's all right. And anyway, so we're like standing there now, and we got our fingers. I trust all these people because I've known them a while, and none of them are going to mess around with nothing. Not Craig, not anyone. And it's all genuine. And we're standing on this table now, and we like got our fingers on it like this. Very light, just lightly like this. And it was just an experiment. And because we don't often do that type of thing, it's always sat and picked up telepathically. And we invite a guest, and we find out who's died and all that stuff. But this was different this time. We done this thing, table rocking or whatever, fingers like on the table, and then the tape asking it a question, and it's doing this and it's doing that. Like that for all the questions. Yes, no, don't know, A, B, C, D. Like that, it's moving like hectic. And then after a while, it started like getting slower and slower and slower, and then it just stopped. It was like, not moving anymore. They weren't like looking around. And then Craig, because he's into this Indian stuff, like, and he goes, all right, then we'll start chanting Om. And I like look at him and I think, what, Om? I go, Om. So, this was the first time I kind of come across it, like. And like I said, this does relate to what I'm talking about, the Om Mani Padme Hum. And so anyway, we started reluctantly for me chanting Om, and the energy.
Om.
Yeah, Om.
Vibration,
Om.
you feel it if you do it, right?
Yeah. And so it started coming back to life. It was like if though the battery got charged back up again. And so, like, and I know none of those guys could make that table move, because we were light fingered on it, and just touching the top of it, and it was just moving like mad, and it was charged up again. So, like, how do I relate that to the Om Mani Padme Hum? Well, there's something in it, and so, like, now I'm curious, like, and I kind of also got an interest in physics, and they come up with, if you go down to the smallest particle, there's nothing to find after the smallest particle, and then there's the atom, and the atom is made up of a vibration, like this vibrating, and inside the atom there's nothing. So you got vibration, then you got nothing.
So they say.
There's something about particles, but anyway, chopping it all down, it goes down to nothing, and so something comes from nothing.
But science now say there is no such thing as nothing.
Yeah.
Even nothingness vibrates. There's a vibration, and sometimes out of the nothingness, something comes into existence. So it's really interesting. And my brain is wired differently. I don't ask so many questions about things. I take them. I leave them really mostly. Or where they come from, but you have a very inquisitive mind.
I've always been like it since as
a child, yeah.
And the teacher wanted to give me a good kicking one for asking too many questions. I said, no, sir, honest, I'm really interested. I was being a twat, mind, to be honest with you, but
you was a lovely little boy. If you see the photos of him, they're so cute.
Yeah, just like now.
Yeah.
Imagine this.
You're still cute.
Anyway,
imagine that, but then smaller.
I don't know. Maybe we should leave it here.
Oh, well, I was just realizing it's okay to go up to an hour. I need an hour's video, so...
All right, well, you want to chop it in two, like...
No, I need an hour's video.
An hour's video?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, I don't mind going on for another hour. Yeah, and so...
We just babble.
That's where we've been this year, like, and summertime we really try to get out there as much as we can, get some sunlight in, and, because you've got to be healthy, like, and we spend a lot of time indoors normally, otherwise.
Yeah, we live 90% of the time away from society. But yeah, we are okay with that. We are used to it. And because we have a really lovely relationship, for us that's not difficult. Many people let us know and say, I wouldn't be able to do the way we live. They need more stimulation and more excitement, but for us it's perfect. That's
our next talk then, isn't it?
Yeah, we can talk about it whenever.
I mean,
we
like
want.
some of you guys are in a lot of trouble out there, and I don't know where it comes from with you all. I mean, like, there's no need for it, honestly. Stop overthinking everything.
Yeah, what did your mum always say?
Too much going on up here.
Yeah.
And
that brings a lot of trouble in relationships too. And that brings set ideas how things should be, and then expectations are put upon the other, and that all creates tension again, and the tension creates negative chemicals, and they create, on turn, in combination with environmental influences, create illness.
That's right.
So
why?
It is so important. That's why we are trying to do these talks.
you guys
just
before.
to maybe others can learn from what we have been through, and I know, because I was always questioning one thing, although my mind didn't question a lot of other things. Like you said, why am I here? What's my purpose in life? And we always think we have to have a purpose, and without a purpose we feel unsatisfied.
Yeah.
And
Beat
so
yourself up.
yes, and then we start not accepting ourselves for what we are. We start changing our hair. We try to different clothes, different coloring, and we hope that that will bring that which we are searching for, without knowing what we are searching for. So yeah, I hope our talks will help some people.
Yes.
Even if one person, and we already know that we have subscribers that have changed their lives by applying what we talk about. I have learned meditation from Ozay, and the difference that has made in my head.
Yeah.
Because before I met you, there was a whirlwind of thoughts. It would just not stop. And even in dreams, you have big wild dreams, and now sometimes I just have to wake myself a bit up to answer, because you are talking to me, and then I don't react because I'm just listening and there's just nothing in there. So sometimes a bit.
And it's not true, you don't snore.
I don't snore. No, but sometimes a bit too much Bob Marley. But if somebody wants to converse with me, but I'm really happy and grateful of learning meditation. I started off with Yoga Nidra. For if you're interested, leave a comment down below.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, we will address that. That has done me so much good. And we are so happy that one of our daughters is now starting Yoga Nidra. She had a health scare. Luckily, everything is okay.
Aye.
But stress is so dangerous.
Yeah.
Super dangerous.
You know, what is the troublemaker? Like, you know, do you want to know? Yeah. But let's be more clear about it, because this, you know, we're making two videos or one long video, right? And so we go into this now. The story maker, right?
Scenarios. I call them scenarios.
Yeah, it's a story maker. Everybody seems to think that life can't be lived without something inside you that makes stories up. Like, so, like you live in your life now, and you look at somebody, you look at that, and then it's like, there it goes. There's another story coming along. I don't like this person.
Yeah.
That person just looked at
judgment
me
straight away.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
Yeah.
And then so you say something to that person, and then that person says something back. Then their story maker starts kicking off, and then before you know it, like two people, like in a relationship, they create a false play, right? And they convince themselves that it's true, and it's not. You just made it up.
Yeah.
You looked at something that person done, you decided that it was offensive, or it hurt your ego, or whatever, because you're not big enough, because you make yourself small, because that's the person that you've created, the story that you created for yourself. Stories. As soon as you start saying, I this, I that, then this, then that, that's when it all goes wrong.
Yeah, it's the division there as well. Because Ozay works a lot online, spiritual work online, and the amount of different Ozays that are out there in people's minds, the people who create a scenario about who you are according to their rules, their beliefs, their expectations. So many do not know who you truly are, because they take their own mind concepts, and through those concepts they color you. Yeah. So you are that, but that person has different mind concepts, different expectations. So for that person, Ozay is somebody else. It's really interesting.
I got a lot of Ozay accounts out there, but it's like
you play games, don't you?
Yeah.
Spiritual games, eh?
Yeah. And people can't understand why they can't hurt me. It's like what you don't realize is that. You don't know who you are, right?
And by that you don't know who somebody else is.
You can't know who I am. If you don't know who you are, you can't know who anyone is. You can only look at the play and believe that that's true, but it's not.
Yeah.
And when you find out your own
you
truth,
truly are, yeah.
and there's no such thing as your own truth, and it's a personal truth. And I know a lot of people that give me a lot of stick about that.
They fight
my
over
truth
it.
is my truth, and your truth is yours. That's not a truth.
No.
A truth is one thing. That's a belief.
Yeah.
I believe this. A belief. That's not a truth.
Yeah.
Remember, belief and truth is two different things. If you've got the truth, you're the same. I, you, them, a lot of us are the same. When you know you, then you know me. Then you can speak wisdom. We can speak wisdom. We can communicate on the same level.
Yeah.
But all the time, there's my truth and your truth, and I'm this and I am that. You've lost it. That's where it all goes wrong. That's where the story maker, the scripts start coming in. That's where you start getting in trouble.
Yeah.
So
that's why so much. Yeah.
Yeah, let go.
So many relationships are in trouble
true.
because of that. Because they bring their own wants and needs.
It's partly about sex.
But sex is also something that becomes. Some people make a certain amount of testosterone or estrogen, and by that they have a higher sex drive naturally. But on top of that, what do people do after they come from a funeral? I have been told we don't go to funerals.
Psychology.
We don't go to
Psychology.
funerals.
Check it out.
It has been investigated and say lots of people have sex after a disaster, 9/11, big happenings, because sex, fear, insecurity drives something inside of us to procreate, so that our human beings, our species, will survive. So after a war, we have a boom of children being born. After a disaster, we have a boom of children being born. So partly it's programmed in our genes, a blueprint I call it. But within relationships, if two people come into a relationship, in the beginning everything is nice, pink glass is on, everything is nice, but after about 6 months you can't pretend anymore, and then the real made up you comes forward, and that's when the conflict starts, because you start changing towards the other because you put your concepts and expectations on the other, but nobody can live in your expectation and satisfy your expectation. That's not why you are in a relationship, and lots of people go wrong there, I think.
Trying to change the act.
To change the other person as well, because then they think, then I will be happy. No, if your happiness depends on another person changing, it's a never everlasting happiness. It's just a short moment that you feel satisfied. Your ego feels satisfied until it needs and wants something else. So we love talking about this kind of stuff with each other and with other people. Because there's so many misconceptions, and you and I, we only talk from experience. We don't parrot from a book.
No.
It is how it works for us, but we have both been in bad relationships, so we have our experiences, we know what causes it. It is so easy also to blame the other. That relationship was bad because of the other. No.
Again.
That is, unless there is serious abuse in a relationship, we don't mean that, but there is a 50-50. For a conflict to occur, and I don't talk about domestic violence, but just two people being tired, because it's tiredness often, it's a killer.
99% of the time.
Then people fall out with each other. And to fall out with somebody is two people. We need two people, because if one can stay calm and relaxed and just let the other put out the steam, there will not be a conflict. And not many people are able to do that, because they take it so personal if the other one goes off for a minute, instead of just realizing, okay, the person is tired, give some space. And then the other needs to be big enough to say later on, sorry. And you don't need to apologize from, I feel so bad about it. No, just sorry, I was just tired. And the other, okay, let's have a cuddle. And you move on. And not many people know how to apply that within the
And
relationship.
I go a bit deeper again, like, you know, like tiredness, yeah, is a big, not a lot of people know this, but most of you out there, right, who's working, we are retired, but most of you out there who's working, you don't realise how tired you are.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, take about 2 weeks off work, right, go somewhere, like a retreat or something if you like, try and meditate. You'll find that you'll keep falling asleep all the time. You'll keep falling asleep day in, day out. It'll take days and days for your tiredness to leave your body.
Yeah. And by the time you have done it, you need to go back to work.
Yeah.
Because we are so enslaved in this
and then what
society.
happens is when you're tired, that's when you go into your old instincts. Like you become more touchy, more reactive, more, you know, like, and you become more sexual, more lusty, more paranoid even.
Depending on the concept, or frigid. You can become more frigid as well.
Yeah. But if you can get it in your head that it's just a play, it's just not real, let it go, let it go, let it go. And because what you hold, it stays in your mind. If you can let it go, it's not in your mind. So the things that stir you the most is concerned with your instincts, but if you can let it go, then you're overpowering your instincts, because your instincts always wants to grasp onto life. It's a holder, it's a puller, it wants to magnicate, it wants to pull things and hold it tight. Yeah. But if you can learn during your most difficult time to let go, it won't be easy, but if you can overcome the most difficult point in your life, let's say it's a relationship, if you can let go and relax, just be still.
Yeah, soft, and, be soft.
Yeah, then if you practice that all through your life, then that loving kindness
That's right.
comes back.
That's why we are full circle again, because if you can just remember to be loving and kind, and that doesn't mean that you should always let the other one be horrible to you, because then we have a relationship that's out of balance. If the other can't be big enough and also be loving and kind back, as soon as they clock themselves like, I overreacted out of tiredness, and be love and kind back, then there is something else out of balance within the relationship. But if both parties, because it is so simple, as if you put the well-being of our unit always first, a relationship works.
Yeah.
And but if one person is the giver and the other is turned into a taker,
it has to be 50-50.
Yeah, it's a two-way street, I always call it.
But you can't make other people, you can't make the other person do it. Some people are just blatantly ignorant of those things, and I'm not being horrible. Everyone deserves love, right?
Yes.
We're all here to be happy. You're trying to find a way to be happy, believe it or not, even the most worst people.
Yeah.
So, right, if you're in a relationship where you've got somebody who's taking all the time, ideally it should be 50-50. If you're two intelligent people, you talk it out. Look, you're giving me too much, or I'm taking too much, whatever.
You don't even have to say something, because the taker can only take as long as the giver keeps giving. The giver should stop giving.
Yeah.
And not as a punishment, but to give the taker an opportunity to also become a giver.
Yeah.
See? Because sometimes people are giving, and they burn themselves out and then become upset because the other one never gives something back.
Yeah.
Yeah. You give something, not in the expectation to get something back. That is where lots of people go wrong as well. But you give something because it comes from within. But you also have to allow the other to give something back. Not expect it, but it can be the smallest thing. It can be a loving look when you walk into the room. That's a giving. Or, shall I make you a cup of tea? Lots of people say, no, I can do that myself. Why don't you give that person the opportunity to do some small act? As long as it's done without expectation. That once you start seeing it, it's so simple. It sounds so complex. But if two people want to be together, or here, or in a working relationship, whatever kind of relationship, it needs to be a two-way street. And not a two-way street out of expectation, but you make space for the other. So if a taker is so used to taking, give them the space to develop the giving part. Because some people are so, let's call it spoiled. Their mother have always done everything for them. And then when they fly out of the nest, they replace the mother with somebody else who continues the giving. So they never got a chance to develop the giving. So it sounds complex, but it really isn't. As soon as you start seeing it, it's beautiful. It just is. It enriches your life, and again, it changes the chemicals within your body, and by that, hopefully, your health stays as long.
What about though in a situation where the person will never change, right? They keep expecting all the time, right?
Yeah, but that can only happen when you allow them.
Yeah, but listen, this is another approach. That's one approach, right? That's one approach, right? I'm not saying anything bad about that. That's not bad. But sometimes, if somebody doesn't go with that, right, and just absolute ignoramuses, right? You're living with a total ignoramus because you haven't got much self-value for yourself, self-worth, and you think this is the best you can have.
So basically. You allow the other person.
Okay, so there is a solution for your life as well. And that solution is your practice. You practice. And what is the practice? You practice serving. And you lose yourself. Okay? Because if you're having problems in your head all the time, it's because you're thinking, I should have that, I should this, he should do that. See, and you get caught out in these little things.
Yeah.
And so, you want me to wipe your ass now? Oh, yes, I'll wipe your ass. There you go. But you mustn't do it because you're, how do you call it, arrogant or...
No, you are the better one. You are the better one. You are the giver.
No, but, it doesn't really go that bad, does it? Unless it's really strange. But anyway, for you, I'm considering you and your life and the betterment, the best for you, and the best alternative you can apply for your life to make your life better. If that person doesn't see you and you feel there's no way out of it, there is a practice. And remember, we were talking in the beginning about what is our purpose in life? To reach our highest state of evolution, which apparently, or theoretically, I think theoretically, it's not a hypothesis, I think it's a theory now if you start looking. Theoretically, you can become a being of light. Now, how do I become a being of light? Losing yourself. And so therefore you can treat having a person who's a total ass to you as in a way a blessing, because the fact is, really kind people can make you spoil yourself, and you identify with, oh, I like this, I like that, and you're kind of earthbound. You can't lighten up. You love it. Once it's gone, it's terrible. Once it's gone, it's like addiction. So therefore, your horrible person that you're married to, not that she's great. I didn't point that finger at her. I just meant, like, metaphorically speaking. If you're with a horrible person, and what you do is you don't become a devil to fight the devil.
No.
You become God to serve the devil, and the devil will break down eventually. But don't even think like that.
No.
You're thinking about your own...
Because then expectation comes back in.
You're thinking about your own being, your own evolution, and therefore you serve. Yeah. You serve. You give.
If that feels good.
You lose the I, you lose the me, and then that way you start going then, when you lose the self, there's emptiness. And when there's emptiness, there's no such thing as emptiness. It's like the whole universe is conscious, and that consciousness is love. Yeah. So if you can reach that point of evolution where you can lose yourself by serving others and not yourself, then you're actually practicing the Buddhist stuff of loving kindness.
Yeah.
So
you can reach a very high
Don't
state.
Be in conflict.
No, not with yourself and not with other people,
That's
isn't
right,
it? Yeah. It always starts with ourselves. Everything starts with us, but lots of people are starting there. Yeah. If I can change that, then I will be happy. No, no, no. Because your happiness is dependent upon the outside. So it starts here with us. And how you go about it, that's different for everybody. We are from the reincarnation group. That means we remember past lives. So for us, there is just no doubt about that we come back. And we take a life so we can practice certain things and reach a certain level. And you can come across a younger, let's call it a younger soul, that hasn't had so many reincarnations, and by that cannot easily jump to where somebody else who had more reincarnations is. So there's also a form of compassion, and by that you can serve from a compassionate way, not because, oh, I'm much better, I'm way more developed, because that's the ego, that's earthbound, that has nothing to do with our reincarnation. So it's super interesting, isn't it?
It's all about lightening up, isn't it?
Yes, and when you're tired, everything is difficult and heavy, and we take things reactive. So serious. We can be upset just by a look, how somebody looks at us, whereas when we
just don't mess with me when I'm tired, all right?
Yeah, when we are light and happy, we don't even notice it. We brush it off, so on our channel here we will have this kind of talks. Try to make it go round where possible. Sometimes it will be just random.
We'll do some live streaming one day.
Yes, we definitely. Yes, when we are a bigger channel, we will start streaming live.
And we're still running our charity as well. It's our piss up on a Saturday night down the pub. So if you want to send donations in for our charity, send them to...
I have no idea.
What's the name of our group? Our channel. We don't know.
Oh, go to the Happy Adventures. There you can donate.
Yeah. Donate to it, and then we'll get pissed up every Saturday night just for greater good.
Yeah, that will be lovely. Yeah. Not that we go to the pub, but
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think this will do for the first time, don't you?
All right then. It's been nice talking to you guys out there.
Yeah, leave a comment, anything, if you want to also talk about something.
We really got a lot of life experience, and we can cover just about every eventuality that you're going to go through or yet to come through. And
and we love to hear your stories.
Don't be shy.
No.
Yeah, and don't forget to hit the like button, because you'll keep us in business, eh?
Well done.
We are getting desperate for money, we are. Whatever. I can do a topless massage for you if you like.
You wish. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
And we are so happy to be back.
Yes.
Bye.
You. Bye. Yeah.
You're like a ghost in my mind. I can't escape you. I need to believe it was right letting you go. 'Cause you are like a ghost in my mind. I wanna escape you, but I do not believe it was right letting you go. I can't stand the thought of losing you. Tell me, do you think of me too? 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart. I'm seeing your face in my dreams. I can't escape you. Like a movie on repeat, the scenes just go on. I'm hearing your voice in my dreams. I wanna escape you. I really think I made a big mistake. I want you to know I can't stand the thought of losing you. Tell me, do you think of me too? 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over now. Don't tell me it's over. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it kills me. No, it was a mistake letting you go. 'Cause every song just reminds me of you and it breaks my heart. You're still here though we're apart. I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on. I put my feet up and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? ' moment, can we stay here forever? Forever, forever, forever. I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.